Mercury Actual here, battlestarmercury.com. Shmoo Bogomolny with another edition of BSG Deadlock School. We're going to show you how, at least I fight the battles of the game with a integrated plan and fleet design. All of this falls into the categories just listed above. And this is the battle against Tacit, a friend of mine in Israel. I'd been wanting to record his dialogue along with the match, but I had equipment issues. I didn't bring the right equipment to Israel to record the battles. And when I finally found out that my Bose headset from the airplane would work, it was not. I was full of recordings that I hadn't edited. I didn't need any more recordings. So that's the situation. The current date of production is the 26th of October, 2023. This is a 16K battle, and we're going to follow the basic game plan. What is the basic game plan? Number one, have a plan to detect the enemy fleet. You've got to get it on Dreidis. Gun efficiency is much lower if the ship is not on Dreidis. Missile efficiency is 0 without Dreidis lock, and torpedoes are less effective as well. There are several ways, of course, to detect enemy Dreidis. The most effective of which I'm using is the Blackbird, which is a Manticore class ship, which has a Dreidis range of over 8,000 meters. I believe it's meters anyway, at full defensive posture. I'm also, because due to the gun advantages built into the Mercury class, going to continually rise those ships. The pair of Jupiters out front are defensive ships, bludgeons essentially, designed to, between PCM, flak, and fighter, blunt a massive missile fleet. I was destroyed earlier, several days earlier, with a different fleet by a massive torpedo fleet that simply overwhelmed my ships. On full defensive posture, the flak field of the Jupiter is capable of stopping almost any torpedo barrage that the Cylons can put against it, and for certain any torpedo barrage that the Colonials can put against it with their slower firing refire rates. And you see what I'm doing here as I'm planning the ship's turns. I've decided I'm going to make a left turn this time. It's pretty random. His fleet, I don't know what it is yet anyway, but I am familiar with his tactics. He's basically a pretty new player. He's flying all of his ships at the same level, and his fleet is designed with Mercuries, probably 3 Mercuries, and either Jupiters or Minervas. The problem is Minervas while not impossible to work with Mercuries, are difficult to work with Mercuries because they have higher guns. Their bias is to fire upward to get under a target, and the Mercury's bias, as far as total damage output, is to get above the target. So you need to use these ships effectively together. You need to forward deploy, and of course the Minervas have very weak armor compared to almost any other ship, including the Artemis. There's going to be a video on the Artemis and Minerva in this batch. Don't know when it's going to air yet. I'm going to edit it hopefully today in the next couple of hours, but that will explain the advantages of a fleet that goes down. It is much easier in this game to compose a fleet of ships with similar capabilities. All these ships in my current fleet that maximize air power gives me 2, 4, 7 assault raptor squadrons, very powerful hitters against ships, and the guns are absolutely amazing. So that's the intro video. I do apologize for the lack of dialogue. I may have to lower the game volume in order to account for this issues, in order to have my audio that I'm speaking now be heard clearly and not interfered with my game audio. We'll just have to see. I know that hurts the quality, but that's why I released the videos in several formats, one of which is fun format, which includes none of my audio and only the replay sections of the video. So there's something for everyone on battlestarmercury.com. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click notify, and share us with other Battlestar Galactica geeks. You see my opponent hosts the game because my PCMs show up on the map as blue. That does depend on the map chosen and a couple other factors. Notice I'm not doing with the Mana Core what normally a lot of people do, which is send it out to die to get recon. It's not necessary to lose a 500-point ship to get recon. She's got a nuke aboard, which I'm hoping to drop onto someone's fire control. And if it comes down to it, although she has very little gun power, she does act as an excellent torpedo and can slam through a Mercury's armor. And I know I'm facing probably 3 Mercuries because this fleet I'm facing is a previous fleet, slightly modified by my opponent.
I'm on it, Commander. Yes, Commander. I'm on it, Commander. Deploying countermeasures.
You see here the number 2 of our battle order, 1 being get recon. That plan is in motion. Number 2 is get the fighters out, launched, and away, outside of any likely flak fields. I'm setting up to a multi-layer defense. The first defense that's supposed to kill torpedoes is the fighters and the assault raptors. If the enemy is stupid enough to come after me, it will be slammed by the excellent PPCs of the Jupiter class and the Mercury class and will be blasted. And the fighters have to be located far enough out and spread out to not to take out and to totally remove torpedoes from the picture, but take enough of the torpedoes out so that there's not an overwhelming of the flak. In order to use the flak, you have to make sure that the fighters are stationed outside the flak area of the ship, which is what I'm doing right now if you watch my actual turn execution.
Escort Priority 1 still online.
Escort clearance zone is active.
Escort clear zone is intact. Priority 1 is in safe hands.
Number 3 of my battle order in BSG Deadlock School is to get multiple guns on targets. The more guns you get on a target, the faster it blows up, the bigger advantage you have. Right now, I'm still implementing item 1 of the list, which is to get recon. I've got no recon on the ships. I'm not worried. I do know something though. Look at all the flak. Lots of Battlestars in there. There's a line of Battlestars. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Battlestars able to put a solid line of flak out there. That means I am facing Mercuries, Jupiters, Artemises, possibly Minervas. Battlestars. Also could be Heracles.
Back off. So say we all. So say we all. I'm on it, Commander. Squadron is taking fire. Yes, Commander.
I have gotten Dratus on the enemy ships, and I am scoping them out, checking for weapons, looking for the best place to drop a nuke. I don't think I have. I'm going to fire it on this turn. Again, 10 days passed between recording and editing here. Production facilities back in the United States now on the 26th of October. But I'm setting up, I've got a massive pollution of PCM. I'm no longer terribly concerned about torpedoes. Apparently he's not flying a heavy torpedo fleet. The heavy torpedo fleet he beat me with earlier consisted of Cylon ships which can fire every turn. The Kratos has a one-turn torpedo turnaround. The modern base star as well. And with Hydras you can improve that as well. You see I'm basically angling to get my fleet tighter, higher, and get the best gun angle. The best gun angle on the Mercury, there'll be a special video on this, is just above the enemy. If you get too high above the enemy, the front guns lose their ability to add killing power. Now, those assault raptors are probably mine. I may have assigned a small portion of the fleet to defend the Manicore so I can get that nuke on target. We'll just have to see. I'll watch this more carefully as I add commentary as necessary. As memory serves me, in this confrontation I decided, due to his deployment of his fighters, pure land defense, to drop my assault raptors into a group, get under one of his ships, and blow its engineering section up. I pull them off the Manicores. I do believe that the nuke has not been fired yet, but we'll see. I've just moved the Manicore into position where it can hammer the fire control of any ship. You're probably going to see it release its weapon this turn, picking a ship on the Avenger. I don't know if it hit or not, but naming a Minerva the Mercury, that's a trick I've done. That's a great way to confuse your opponent if he's in a hurry. I think I decided to put the nuke on that target. We shall see what actually happens. Everybody else is following the plan. I'm maneuvering to get the Mercury guns closer so that I get 5 heavy battleships, Battlestars worth of guns on my first gun target. That'll be happening soon. Continuing to set up the ambush of the assault raptors. I've got a lot of fighters protecting them, and I'm amazed he didn't go after them with his fighters. But we're talking about a new player here. He'll learn from this video if I let him see it, which I always say, well, it's a public video. But the Blackbird is about to release its nuke. This turn is set up. Everything's ready to go. We're going to get ready to turn toward the enemy fleet and do the item 3, which is to max the number of guns on each target as we destroy it.
Got it.
Target is 45534.
Notice right there, I turned the mana core to save it, and I'm beginning to lower it to think about using it as a torpedo. I've already released the nuke. I've got the ambush of the Raptor set up. I'm getting ready to use my assets to do heavy damage. The nuke is on its way. It's coming from far enough above. It should be able to bypass all flak. We'll try and see that in the coming turn. I don't think it's been erased yet. Continuing to set up the Raptor ambush because he's letting me. Guns are much tighter, much more gun situation is much better now. I can afford to have the Mercuries on full offensive because they are not going to be the first ones targeted by a inexperienced player. Now we're just waiting to see if the nuke's going to hit. I don't think it is. I think the angle it took was very unfortunate, and it may have got clipped by flak, but we'll see that in the next turn execution turn if I can.
Deploying countermeasures.
Watch the nuke drop. And looks like he got over the flag. No, fighters. He sent fighters after. He took it out with fighters. Oh well, that would have wiped out the engineering of the Minerva if it had worked. And you see I've got him in a blanket of PCMs. There's no way a significant missile barrage is going to get anywhere toward my fleet. And you see me actually mispositioning my Raptors. I wasn't careful with their actual location, and I kept getting a secondary target that didn't want to attack a smaller ship. I think it was a Celestra, but still, overall, the battle plan is going to work. I'm continuing to prepare the Manicore for eventual use as a torpedo. Although his nuke didn't work, his primary function was fulfilled. He got a Stratus, and that I think he either survived the battle or I was able to use him as a missile. I'd say more likely to survive the battle based on seeing this deployment now, but it's fun to watch the battle 10 days after you fought it.
Deploying countermeasures.
My deployment is perfect. I can choose any one of 3 ships to melt in the next couple turns. It is got good firing lanes for the Mercuries, good decent firing lanes for the Jupiter 2s, good defense. Watch this. What am I aiming at? I am aiming at a Minerva, I'd say. Yes. Bye-bye Minerva. 1 turn. And I'm in a position to fire at 2 more ships without even making a motion change. And I've still got the Jupiter 2s taking the majority of the punishment, and the Mercury's surviving longer. And I'm making a turn due to armor weakness, probably. Yeah, armor has been breached on the right side of one of the Jupiter 2s. So we're going to turn right, show it a new armor face, while continuing to slam the Mercury. In order to win the battle, we also have to deal with the Berserks. That we'll deal with fighters because they're too fast for the Mercuries. The Mercuries don't do well on small targets. Their accuracy drops, and there are plenty of assault raptors and fighters near there. I predict that the next ship to blow up, as you see me targeting it with a 100% firing solution, is the Mercury. All 5 ships have a firing solution on the Mercury. The Mercury has no hope of surviving the turn. Let's see if I'm right, and watch the turn.
Confirm squadron target. Got it.
One of my Jupiters is going to probably go up this turn, and the Mercury is going to melt. Not a great angle here, but you'll see it in the replay. Bye-bye, Mercury. All my ships are going to turn. The big ships are already taken care of on the left side. From my perspective, his right side. These Celestras are under the care and feeding of my fighter wing. He did not mount a fighter challenge. I'm going to concentrate on my guns now. I'm guessing on the next Mercury in the formation, and she will also have a hard time surviving the turn.
Salvo launch ready. So say we are.
The destruction of my Jupiter and the pollution of my PCM has opened up lanes for torpedoes to be fired, and you're going to see me using them this turn. I've got, I think, 2 salvos of torpedoes. That will just help ships die quicker. There's 2 Jupiters, 2 Mercuries, and 1 Minerva that need to go, and they're going to go probably in the next 2 or 3 turns. I'm going to lose 1 more ship, I believe. We shall see.
Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander.
Giving the fighters some orders and the Raptors some orders to take care of these Celestras. One Celestra can survive and get away, and if it gets far enough away, it's impossible to catch. And he's got quite the air wing out there. A lot of it died due to his deployment. But I can't take out a Celestra and take a heavy air wing out at the same time. So I have to provide specific instructions to make sure those Celestras die as quickly as possible. And you see I'm splitting my forces because Celestras don't require the entire weight of the fire group. They're not getting any supporting fire whatsoever from the Battlestars, though. Keep that in mind when you're planning your future battles. You see me picking targets with high accuracy, maxing out my guns. There's not many targets left. This battle is almost over. It's essentially mathematically over now. I'm just trying to preserve my capital ships as per game or role play message situations. It doesn't really matter. I'm not recording a chapter here. But always try and maximize your resources. You never know when you're going to need that last hull point. You see my Mercury has taken some hits. Its bottom armor is gone. But that Mercury, which is in pristine condition and has a fighter wing still, is at a 3-to-1 disadvantage. And all these ships have good firing solutions on them. So it is inevitable what's going to happen next.
I'm on it, Commander.
Thanks for watching this battle. Please subscribe. Please sign up for notifications. Please share this site with other people. I really would like to get to a larger number of followers. It will make life easier producing this stuff. I'm Israel Hyde. The war in Israel is still on as we do pre-production of this video, which hopefully by the time this video airs in November or December of 2023, the war will be over and peace will be restored. Thank you again for watching. I'm Israel Hyde. Safety to all concerns, and God help the innocents in the current situation in Israel.